It absolutely, positively, 100% sucks to be a pig. Even more so if you're a talking pig who attends Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, especially if you're sorted into Hufflepuff House, which is known for its hard work, dedication, patience, and loyalty. Not traits you would normally associate with pigs, but hey, who am I to question the sorting hat? You see, when Petunia Pig, first arrived at Hogwarts, I was excited. I mean, it's not every day that a pig gets accepted into a school for witches and wizards. But from the moment I stepped foot into the Great Hall and took my seat at the Hufflepuff table, I knew I was in trouble. The other students stared at me as if I had grown a second snout, and some of them even snickered loudly enough for Professor Sprout to give them a sharp look. "Don't be an idiot, Cedric," she said quietly, "or I'll have you cleaning out the stables for a fortnight." But even she gave me a funny look, and I could tell what she was thinking. What in Merlin's name is a pig doing at Hogwarts? And I didn't blame her, I was confused myself. When I got called up to be sorted, I sat on the stool, placed the hat on my head, and waited for the inevitable. "Hufflepuff," the hat shouted before I could even utter a squeak. And I knew then that Headmistress McGonagall was going to regret this decision. She hadn't sorted me based on my magical ability or personality. She'd only had a glimpse of my backside. When I floated past her on my way to the stool and she'd been fooled by my curly tail, I sighed inwardly, because I knew what was about to happen. First, I'd have to endure 4 years of whispers and stares. Then when I graduated, I'd be lucky if I found a single employer willing to give me a chance. In the wizarding world, being a pig meant people thought you were nothing but a mindless eating machine. There was no respect whatsoever, and it wasn't as if I looked very different from any other pig. I had pink skin, floppy ears, and a wet nose with a ring in it. But my favorite thing about being a pig was my tail. It was long and curly like a corkscrew, and I loved to flick it back and forth whenever I was happy. Unfortunately for me, this one particular trait was what had gotten me into Hogwarts in the first place. If I could just change one thing about myself, it would be to grow scales and wings and become a dragon. A dragon's life sounded awesome. You fly around on huge wings, breathing fire and scaring people. You can be big or small, scary or cute, and nobody bats an eye. Well, except maybe when you're a baby dragon. But that doesn't count. Being a pig, however, does suck. Take herbology class, for example. While all the other students are planting, pruning, and tending to their magical plants, I'm stuck in the greenhouse, feeding. If I eat anything that sprouts, leaves, roots, or flowers, it instantly turns poisonous. Poppy pie. Just the name sends shivers down my spine. Trust me, you don't want to know what it tastes like. Then there's the fact that my fellow Hufflepuffs treat me like an outcast. At first I thought they were just being polite and trying to make me feel welcome. But after a while I began to suspect the truth. They were afraid of me. To be honest, I don't blame them. I would be, too. Every time I walk past a jukebox in the common room, I have to resist the urge to stick my snout inside and see if my curly tail will get caught in the mechanism. The only bright side is that no one wants to be near me when the full moon hits because I and control myself. I turn into a werewolf, no, just kidding. I turn into a little pig. Yeah, don't ask. There is one person who has been nice to me though. He's in my year and he's always trying to help me fit in, which is why I did unsqueal when I saw him getting attacked by a troll in the bathroom. It was so easy to rescue him. All I had to do was roll over his foot and bite his ankle. He cried out in pain and the troll, well, he smelled the fear on him and decided to attack me instead. Turns out Justin had been holding a broken bottle in his hand and he jabbed it into the troll SI. That bought me enough time to escape, and we both ended up getting 50 points for defeating a mountain troll. But people still don't want to talk to me. Maybe they think I'm vicious or something. Well, maybe I am, but I never wanted to be a vicious pig. I wanted to be a witch. I wanted to learn spells and practice defensive and offensive magic and become the most powerful sorceress to ever attend Hogwarts. But thanks to my piggishness, I can barely perform Wingardium Leviosa. My greatest desire is to take part in a duel against another student and successfully cast a spell that will knock them off their brew. Or perhaps a disarming spell. Hey, a pig can dream, can't she? But in reality, I just want to graduate from Hogwarts, find a job and move away from here. That's why I've been studying the career options available to a witch or wizard who happens to be a pig. Most of them aren't good. The Ministry of Magic offers positions such as Cursebreaker, where you travel to far-off lands, discovering and diffusing magical curses to threaten the British wizarding community. Not bad, right? But they require applicants to be fluent in the local language of the country they visit. Does the ministry think I've got time to learn Elvish or Gaelic or whatever they speak in places where magic is outlawed? Please. Then there's the Aura program, where you capture and imprison dark wizards and witches. Now, I'm no chicken, but isn't this a little too dangerous for a pig? How exactly am I supposed to wrestle a Dementor to the ground and keep it from sucking out my soul? Oh wait, never mind. When you become an adult pig, apparently your magical abilities increase. That's good to know. Now, these are just two of the jobs I'm interested in, but neither one is particularly suited to a pig. And this is the problem. I can't fit in. I mean, how am I supposed to take care of magical creatures when the mere sight of a unicorn makes me hungry? Or how am I supposed to teach young children when all they see is a pig wearing glasses and a pointy hat? Believe me, it happens. Honestly, Sometimes I wish I were cursed to be a cat. Sure, cats get treated badly sometimes too, but they get away with it because they look cool. Pigs, on the other hand, well, we just end up back at the petting zoo. Of course, I'll graduate from Hogwarts eventually and go out into the world. I may not have many job options, but I'm sure I'll find something. And one day, just one day, someone will look at me and say, "Petunia Pig, you're not just a mindless eating machine. You're the best," which I know. Yeah, a pig can dream, can't she? Well, that's it for this entry. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Until then, take care, and remember, it's not the size of the pig that matters, it's the magic inside.